Tournament update. So we just got done with the winners quarterfinals plus the losers round 3. Lots of good races that have happened so far. And as you can see, I made it out of my division, as so accurately predicted by me. I had some good races on my way there, but the bulk of the action in the Squawks division definitely happened in the bottom half of the bracket. El Sabroso versus Panda. Panda was favored in that race, but unfortunately lost power and had to forfeit his race due to that. He's currently on the loser's tear though, so definitely on the lookout for him. Rockin' Josh versus El Sabroso came down to seconds. It was, and still is, at the time of recording, the closest race of the tournament. I think it ended up being like only 2 seconds apart at the end. One last thing about the Squawks division, the Broadmeal versus Crosby race, which was one of the first races of the tournament, if not the first race of the tournament, which also ended up being a really close one. Broadmeal being slightly ahead going into the K-Rool fight, but decided to go for Blue Diddy for swag points, which unfortunately loses time, and it most definitely cost him the race. Now next, the Squidder division. Bunch of really good races that happened in this division. I was really excited about this division, and both the Waffle versus LZ and the SBD Wolf versus LZ races ended up being super close. Arcturus' console was faulty during his race versus Upgrad, and it ended up dying on him a couple times, which cost him a ton of time. That is actually surprising that he was still able to clutch a win under those conditions. Icterus versus Anankas afterwards ended up also being a really close race. I think they both ended up being within around 20 seconds of each other, if I'm not mistaken. Waffle versus LZ and SBD Wolf versus LZ also ended up being really good high-level races that had really close finishes. SBD Wolf versus LZ also ended up being a around 20-second difference between the two runners. And Waffle versus LZ, I think Waffle ended up losing that race with a 40.07, which at the time ended up being the strongest losing time of the tournament. LZ ended up clutching a mid-39 to secure the victory. And with all of that, LZ makes it out of the Squidder division, and he's going to be my next opponent. Pretty excited for that. Next, the Ratley division. And the story of that division has to be Gil. Gil was able to finally get a 39 in this game after years of grinding and working for it. And ever since getting his first 39, he's been able to get 39s in races. He was able to secure a 39 against Eason, which led to a pretty significant upset against him. And again, versus Hazel, another 39, which makes him the winner of the Ratley division, and he will be facing off against the winner of the Angar division, which is Tonkatsu, one of the most consistent runners of the tournament, also one of the runners with the strongest PBs, and he had quite the race against Krypton. They, I think, ended up being like around 14 seconds apart. The race was essentially decided on one mistake on Crow 2 from Krypton, but the final times ended up being so close to each other, like a high 38 from Tonkatsu and a low 39 from Krypton. Like, this kind of race really is what you should expect for the rest of the tournament as the losers bracket becomes more and more loaded with really high-level runners. And here is you guys' first look at the Ramby's losers bracket. Very nicely looking and also filled with matches bracket. Once again, massive shoutouts to Clayton for handling the brackets out. He's done really good work with them. So like I said earlier, we got done with losers round 3, and some really good races going to be happening on losers round 4, like Chillax versus Beazle, Gonna be a really close race. Panda versus Eason, also gonna be a really close race. Very much looking forward to this one. Two top tier runners. And one final thing from the tournament brackets, we have the Winkies Championship bracket, which is, as you can see, really the end game of this tournament. We have high quality Winky the Frog up here, and low quality Rambi the Rhinoceros being representatives for their respective brackets. So as you can see, we had those quarterfinals matches lined up, and in the upcoming week we're gonna have those semifinals matches, which is gonna be pretty exciting for sure. Me versus LZ and Gil versus Tonkatsu are definitely gonna be two races you won't want to miss out on. And as the losers bracket progresses, we're gonna be seeing some gamers appear here. We're currently on losers round 4 of the tournaments, and losers round 7 is actually where the two brackets converge. So as soon as the losers round 7 matchups will be decided, those will be what you'll see appear here. Shoutouts to all the runners who have joined this tournament, and also shoutouts to all of the runners who have PB'd during this tournament, either during tourney races or outside of tourney races to prepare for said races. The king of race PBs this tournament is definitely Sylvite. Sylvite got 3 different race PBs this tournament. The first half being in the qualifier races, the second half being in his race against Waffle, and the third being in his race against Bean in the losers bracket right here. And that's pretty much it, really. Let me know what you guys think of the tournament so far. It's definitely been a ton of fun to watch the races, and a lot of action coming up in the next few weeks. Stay tuned, and as always, keep on rolling deep.